I can't believe this is happening, Emily whispered, tears shining in her eyes. It's real, I said, sliding the ring onto her finger. Finally. The crowd at the vineyard exploded into applause. Glasses clanked, flashbulbs went off. My heart felt like it was about to burst. Tyler clapped, slow and stiff. His jaw twitched before he forced a grin. Congrats, man. Really? I hugged him. Thanks, bro. You've always had my back, yeah? He said, always, and Grace dabbed her eyes and pulled me into a tight hug. Your mother would have been so proud. I wish she were here. She is. Watching, she said, and Emily, she's perfect. Emily smiled at her. But it didn't quite reach her eyes. Later that night, the house was quiet. I was brushing my teeth when I heard it. Emily's voice muffled. Low. I stopped, toothbrush halfway in my mouth. No. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said. I thought we had more time before. I stepped closer to the bedroom door. He's good to me, okay? I didn't expect to feel this guilty. Silence. My heart hammered. I don't know what to do anymore. She whispered. I can't break him like that. I backed away before I heard more. When I climbed into bed, she smiled at me like nothing had happened. You okay? I asked, pretending I hadn't heard. Yeah. She said too quickly. Just tired. So many people. Today. It was overwhelming. I nodded. Tomorrow we can take it easy. Just you and me. Sounds perfect, she whispered, turning her back to me. I stared at the ceiling for hours. The next morning, Tyler showed up early, bringing coffee like always. Morning, lovebirds, he said, walking into the kitchen like he owned it. Emily flinched. You didn't text first. Thought I'd surprise you both, he said, setting down the cups. I watched her expression. Tight smile. Avoided eye contact. You okay? I asked her. Yeah, just didn't sleep well. Everything good with work? I asked Tyler. Trying to act normal. Busy, he said. Mergers are messy. Maybe I should have gone into finance instead of photography, I joked. You wouldn't last a week. Tyler smirked. Too soft-hearted, Emily let out a laugh. But it sounded off anyway, Tyler said. I gotta run. Just wanted to say congrats again. You two are perfect together. Thanks, I said. And walked him to the door. Liam, he said. Quietly. She's lucky to have you, I smiled. We're lucky to have each other. He hesitated, right? He left. I stood there a long time. That night, Emily was scrolling on her phone, lying on the couch. Who were you talking to? Last night. I asked gently. She froze. What? I got up, heard you in the hallway. You sounded upset. She blinked fast. Just, Mira, she's going through something. I didn't want to worry you, Mira. My sister, she said quickly. It's complicated. I nodded. Okay, you don't believe me? I didn't say that. She sat up. Why are you asking me this now? After the best day of our lives. I'm just trying to understand. Well, don't, she snapped. Some things aren't about you, Liam. I flinched. I didn't mean to. I'm tired, she muttered. Grabbing her phone and walking upstairs. I sat there alone, gripping my coffee mug so tight it almost cracked. 3 days later, we were picking out flower arrangements for the wedding. Emily was quiet, distracted, kept checking her phone. You okay? I asked. Yeah, just thinking about everything, she whispered. Life? Choices. I squeezed her hand. We've made it through so much already. This is our new chapter. She nodded slowly. Right? New chapter. Tyler texted me that night. Tyler, need to talk. Alone. I stared at the screen. Typed about. Deleted it. Typed again. Sure. Tomorrow. He replied. Midnight. Usual place. Why midnight? Emily asked suddenly, looking over my shoulder. I turned. You were checking my phone? She shrugged. Habit. It's Tyler. Wants to talk. Midnight. Yeah. He's dramatic. She forced a laugh, right? I didn't meet him that night. I sat in the dark, wondering what he was going to say. But more than that, I was scared to hear it. You got a minute? Noah asked, sliding into the booth across from me. I always got time for you, I said, sipping my coffee. What's up? He hesitated. That wasn't like him. Noah never hesitated. I saw Emily. I blinked. Okay with Tyler. So? It was almost midnight. They were at that little Italian place near 8th. I frowned. Maybe they were talking about the wedding. He raised an eyebrow. You think it takes 2 hours and 3 glasses of wine to talk about centerpieces? She's close with him, I said. We both are. I'm your best friend, man, Noah said. And I'd never take your girl out that late without telling you. I looked away. You think something's going on? I'm saying you need to look, Liam, like. Really look. I rubbed my face. You're overthinking it. No. He said softly. You're underthinking it. That night, Emily came home humming like nothing was off. Long day? I asked. She nodded, kicked her shoes off. Meetings ran over. Alone? What? Did you go out after? She paused, just a beat too long. Grabbed food with Jade, late? Why all the questions? She said, laughing nervously. You jealous of Jade now? I smiled weakly. No, just missed you, she kissed my forehead. You're sweet to sweet. Sometimes when I got into bed, she was already asleep. Her phone lit up beside her. Meet me after midnight. TMY. Breath caught. I stared at the message. The initials. The time. I locked the screen, turned off the light, and lay in the dark. Emily and I met when we were 10. She punched a boy for teasing me and got detention. I waited outside the principal's office for her. You didn't have to do that. I told her. You're my best friend, she said. Don't let people treat you like a doormat. We built tree houses, burned marshmallows, skipped school dances. She was my constant. Even when my mom died, she was the only one who didn't say, I'm sorry. She just sat beside me and held my hand. At 17, I kissed her. She laughed and kissed me back. You're it, she said. My always, I believed her. You're thinking too hard. Jade said the next afternoon, flipping through swatches. About what? I asked, trying to focus. You've been weird since I walked in. What's going on? Just tired. She gave me a look. Did Emily say something? No. It's nothing. Is this about her and Tyler? I froze. What do you mean? She blinked. Nothing. I just meant they hang out a lot. That's all. I set the swatches down. How often is a lot? Jade's mouth tightened. Don't make me the bad guy here, Liam. You know something. I know what I see, she said quietly. And it doesn't look good. That night, Emily stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her earrings. Going out? I asked. Dinner with Jade. I walked to her, gently touched her wrist. You sure that's who you're meeting? Her eyes darted to the side. Yes. Because if it's Tyler. What? I saw the text. Her shoulders tensed. You checked my phone. I didn't mean to. It lit up. I was going to tell you, she said quickly. He's helping with something, a surprise for you, for us, you swear? She looked me in the eye. I swear. She left in a rush. I stood by the window long after her car disappeared. My phone buzzed. It was Noah. Noah, want the truth? Or do you want peace? I typed back. Me. Can I have both? The next day, I showed up at Emily's studio with flowers. Liam, she said, startled. What are you doing here? I missed you, she took the flowers, forced a smile. They're beautiful. You look tired, didn't sleep much. With Jade, she hesitated. Yeah. Can I ask you something? Of course. Do you still love me? Her eyes filled. Why would you ask that? Just answer. She stepped closer. You've always been my home. That's not a yes. She leaned her head against my chest. Don't push me away. I'm not, I said. I'm trying to hold on. That night, I watched her sleep again, peaceful. Still, like none of this was breaking her, but it was breaking me. I unlocked her phone. The message thread with Tyler was gone, deleted. I didn't plan to follow her. I told myself I was just going for a walk, just needed air. Just happened to leave when she did. Just took the same road, same turns. I stayed far enough back. Head down, hood up. She didn't look back once. My phone buzzed. No, you sure you want to know? I didn't respond. Emily stopped outside a restaurant. Small place, closed. She pulled out her phone and waited under the awning. And then, Tyler's car pulled in. He stepped out, umbrella in hand, walked right up to her like they'd done it 100 times. She smiled. Not the small polite one she gave strangers. The one she used to give me. He lifted the umbrella above them both. They talked. I couldn't hear it. I didn't need to. Her hands touched his chest. His thumb brushed her cheek. Then she kissed him. Not a peck. Not a mistake. Slow. Intentional. Familiar. My chest didn't break. It folded. I stood frozen, rain drenching me head to toe. She was my home, and I just watched her burn it down. My feet finally moved. I turned, numb, each step heavy with something I couldn't name. My phone buzzed again. No, Liam? I shoved it in my pocket. The rain blurred everything. Streetlights, my thoughts, time. I walked, and walked, and walked. I don't know how long. The sound of my shoes slapping against the pavement became the only thing keeping me standing. When I got home, I was soaked through. My jacket clung to me. My fingers trembled as I opened the door. Emily was already inside. Hair dry. Smile fake. You're drenched, she said, eyes wide. Where were you? Out. I muttered. She stepped closer. You should have called. I was worried. You seemed fine earlier. What does that mean? Nothing. She touched my arm. I pulled away. You okay? She asked, voice soft. I looked at her, at the liar in front of me. I'm tired, I said. Want tea? I'll make some. I shook my head. I'm going to shower. She nodded. Okay. I turned away before she saw my face. In the bathroom, I stared at myself in the mirror. My lips were blue, my eyes red, and I hated what I saw. Weak. Blind. Foolish. The water ran hot, but I still felt cold. Back in bed, she curled beside me. I missed you, she whispered. I didn't respond. She rested her head on my chest, my body tensed. She didn't notice, or maybe she did, and didn't care. Her breathing slowed, minutes passed, hours. I stared at the ceiling, listening to her sleep, trying to forget the way her hands slid down Tyler's back, trying not to imagine how many times they'd done that. How many lies she'd told, how many truths I ignored. When morning came, I was already up. She rolled over, smiling. Morning. I forced one back. Morning. You okay? Yeah. Just didn't sleep. You sure? Positive. She kissed my cheek. Today's a new day. I nodded. Yeah. It is. But I knew nothing would ever be the same again. I haven't seen you at work in days, Noah said, setting down a sandwich beside me. Didn't feel like going. You okay? No. He waited. I didn't speak. You saw them, he guessed. I nodded. Did you say anything? No. Why? Not. Because I wanted to see how deep the rot goes. Emily knocked on my door later that night. You skipped dinner again. I wasn't hungry. You barely talked to me. I'm tired. She stepped closer. Can we please just move forward? Sure, I said. Right after you tell me how long it's been going on. She froze. What? You and Tyler? Her voice cracked. Liam, don't lie. Silence. I waited. Almost a year. She whispered. My throat burned. A year. I didn't mean for it to happen. But it did again and again. I was confused. I didn't want to hurt you. You shattered me. Tears filled her eyes. I swear. It started small. Texts, coffee. I thought it was nothing. But it was everything. I slammed the door after she left. The next morning, I called Jade. Tell me the truth. About what? You knew. Pause. Liam. How long? She sighed. Since spring. I gripped the phone tighter. Why didn't you tell me? I tried. But Emily begged me not to. She said she was going to end it. She didn't, I know. She used me. She was scared. Jade offered. No. She was calculating. That afternoon, I visited Aunt Grace. She opened the door with her usual tight-lipped smile. Well, if it isn't my favorite nephew, you knew. She blinked. Knew what? About Emily and Tyler. Her eyes narrowed. Careful what? You accused me of. You encouraged it. She needed a future, Liam. Not just art shows and weekend markets. I stared at her. You sold me out. I did what was best for her. And what about me? You'll survive. Why'd you stop by? Emily asked later, to ask a question. Go ahead. Tyler offered you something, didn't he? Her jaw clenched. What are you talking about? A job, a promotion, a future? I don't owe you that explanation. You owe me everything. I snapped. She looked down. He said I could manage a new division. Better salary, better everything if you left me. She didn't answer. I laughed bitterly. So love had a price. Noah called me that night. You okay? No. You want to hit something? Kinda. You want the full story? There's more? Tyler's friend Nathan, he bragged about it at a party, said they made a bet. A bet? Who'd win you over first? My grip on the phone went white knuckles. You were a game to them, man. The next time Emily came home, I didn't speak. She placed keys on the table. Say something. I stood. You broke me, I know. You stood there and let me plan a life you already left. I didn't mean to. But you did. I walked past her. I needed air. I needed silence. I needed a version of life where she hadn't happened. I know about the job, Emily, I said, the offer, the deal, the bet. Her face turned pale. Liam, no more lies, just tell me the truth. I didn't plan any of this, she whispered. It just happened. You were mine, I snapped, for 7 years and you threw me away for a promotion. It wasn't like that. Then what was it? I don't know. She shouted, pacing. At first, it was just talking. He listened, he made me laugh. I stared at her. So, did I know? Liam, you comforted, you supported, you were safe. Safe? My voice cracked. I was your home. She turned. To me, exactly. Safe, predictable. You never saw me. You saw the idea of me. I stepped forward. I saw the girl I grew up with. The girl who held me when my mother died. The girl who said I was her always. That girl changed, she said, and you didn't notice. I slammed my hand on the wall behind her, not to scare her, not to hurt her, just to stop myself from falling apart. She flinched anyway. I gave you everything, I said through my teeth. And you gave it all to him. I didn't mean to fall in love with him. You think that makes it better? No. She whispered. It makes it worse. The door creaked open. Mira stepped in, eyes wide. I heard yelling. What's going on? Nothing, Emily said quickly. It's fine. I laughed bitterly. No, Mira, it's not. She looked between us. Emily, did you finally tell him? Emily's shoulders dropped. You knew? I asked Mira. I begged her to come clean. I told her she couldn't keep doing this, and yet, here we are. I told her it was wrong, Mira said. But she said, stop. Emily cut in. Don't. Mira's voice cracked. You said you felt alive with him. But you looked dead after. Get out, Mira, Emily hissed. I'm not leaving him like this, get out. Mira glanced at me, then left without another word. Emily sat down, her face in her hands. I loved you, I said, softer this time. God, I loved you so much. She didn't look up. I know. Then why? She looked at me, eyes red. Because I didn't love myself. Not anymore, and being with you meant facing that. You could have talked to me. You would have tried to fix me. I always did. That's the problem, Liam, she cried. You always wanted to save me. You never asked if I wanted to be saved. My chest tightened. So what now? She shrugged. I don't know. I deserve better, she nodded. You do? Then say it. Her voice cracked. You deserve better. I grabbed my coat and walked to the door. Where are you going? She asked. I don't know. Somewhere that doesn't feel like a lie. Will you come back? I turned. My hand on the doorknob. I don't think I will. I'm done, I told my boss, handing over my badge. He stared at me. No notice, no point. You're making a mistake, Liam. I already did. I muttered, for 7 years. I walked out without saying goodbye to anyone. 3 days later, I was still wearing the same hoodie. My bank account was down to 2 digits. My phone was on 3%. I hadn't eaten since Tuesday. I curled up under a bus shelter that night. I didn't cry. I didn't move. I just stared at the empty street and wondered if this was what rock bottom looked like, Liam. I blinked. Zara stood in front of me holding a steaming coffee cup. What the hell happened to you? Long story. Try me. You wouldn't understand. She handed me the cup anyway. You smell like wet cardboard. Thanks. Get up. I'm fine. No, you're not. You look like a raccoon who lost custody. I let out a bitter laugh. I don't have anywhere to go. Now you do. Her apartment smelled like cinnamon and books. You can crash on the couch, she said. Bathrooms down the hall. Towels are clean, I think. You really don't have to, Liam. She cut me off. You once helped me build a project deck in a thunderstorm. This is me returning the favor. I sat down slowly. I don't know who I am anymore. She leaned on the counter. You're someone who got gutted. It happens. Feels like it'll never stop. It won't, unless you do something about it. I stared at my hands. What if I don't know how? You rebuild, she said simply. That's it. I don't even know where to start. She looked me dead in the eye. People don't break you, Liam. You break when you don't rebuild. The next day, I showered for the first time in days, shaved, ate toast without gagging. Zara handed me a notebook. Write something. What? Anything. Anger, regret. What you wish you'd said, just get it out. I'm not a writer. You're a human. You bleed the same. A week passed. I got a temp job stocking shelves. It paid little. It gave me peace. One morning, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Liam, yeah? This is Mr. Benson from the board. My chest tightened. Hi, sir. I heard what happened. Tyler told people you left because you couldn't handle pressure. Of course he did. I don't believe him, Benson said. You're better than that. I don't know what I am anymore. Well, I have a consulting role open. Part-time. Flexible. Why me? Because I saw how you fought for things you believed in. Even when people walked all over you, I stayed silent, and because I like rooting for the underdog, he added. I exhaled. Thank you. Don't thank me. Prove me right. That night, Zara passed me a blanket. You're leaving soon, aren't you? Probably. Good. I raised a brow. Good. You're meant for more than this couch. I don't even know where I'm going. Forward, she said. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, thinking about that word. Forward. Not revenge, not regret. Just movement. Welcome back, Mr. Benson said, shaking my hand. Place hasn't changed much. No, I said. But I have. He smiled. Good, you'll be reviewing the Monroe contracts this week. Think you can handle it? I'm not here to fail. Didn't think you were. Later, I sat at my new desk, smaller than my old one. But it felt earned. Every file I opened, every decision I made, came with clarity I hadn't felt in years. No distractions. No lies. Just me finally standing on my own. That night, Zara texted. Zara? Heard you're suiting up again. About time. Me? I almost forgot what purpose felt like. Zara, don't forget again. The headlines dropped a few days later. Engagement. Surprise. Emily Rhodes says yes to Tyler Grant. Power couple or powder keg. I stared at the screen, reading the words over and over. 7 years with me. 7 months with him. And she said yes. I didn't feel rage or sadness. I just felt nothing. Hey, Noah said, sliding into the chair across from me at lunch. You see the news? Yeah. You good? Surprisingly. He nodded. Well, I wouldn't celebrate just yet. What do you mean? He pulled out his phone. Someone leaked these photos. Tyler, another woman. At a hotel. Different days, same room. My jaw clenched. That's Jade. Yup. She knew he was with Emily. Looks like karma. Doesn't knock. It crashes. My phone buzzed an hour later. EMILY missed call 1 Emily. Voicemail when I stared at the notification. Didn't open it. Didn't need to. But curiosity, that still lived in me. I hit play. Her voice cracked from the first word, Liam. I know I'm the last person you want to hear from. But please just listen, you were right. About him, about everything, a pause, a shaky breath. He cheated with her, Jade. I walked in on them, in our apartment. Double quote silence. Then more crying. I thought he loved me. I thought I was enough. But he was never you. He was never anything close to you. I should have stayed. I should have fought for us. I don't know who I am without you. Please, if there's still a part of you that cares, just call me back. Double quotes clicked. I didn't. You okay? Zara asked that evening, passing me tea. She left a voicemail. And, she's crumbling. Do you feel bad? I looked at her. Should I? Zara shrugged. Maybe the old you would have. I sipped my tea. The old's buried. Good, she said. He needed to die. Later that week, I passed by a bookstore. One of Emily's favorites. I stepped in, not because I missed her, but because I didn't. I picked up a copy of The Stranger. She used to say it was her favorite. I never understood why. This time, I read the first few lines. They hit different, detached, cold. Honest. Maybe that's who she'd been all along. Noah called the next day. She's looking for you. I know. She showed up at my place, asking where you went. What did you tell her? That you moved on? Thanks, Liam. Yeah. She doesn't deserve another ounce of you, I know. I never deleted her voicemail. But I never played it again either. The knock came just after sunset. I knew it was her before I looked. I opened the door halfway. Emily stood there, thin, pale. I sunk in like sleep had forgotten her. She didn't say anything at first, just stared at me like I might disappear. Can I come in? She whispered. I stepped aside. She walked in slowly, as if the place might reject her. I didn't know where else to go, she said, voice barely above a whisper. I nodded once. Said nothing. She stood in the middle of the room like she didn't know what to do with her hands. I messed everything up, still. I said nothing. I thought he was different. Her voice broke. He said the right things, promised me everything. But it was all fake, the money, the affection. The future. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed. She looked around like she was searching for a version of me that might still care. I miss you, she said, stepping closer. Not just what we had, you. My heart didn't race, my hands didn't shake. I felt calm. I know I don't deserve it, she said. But I need to say it anyway. She paused. Her lip quivered. I never stopped loving you. The words hung in the air. She waited. And waited. I didn't move. I keep replaying everything, she continued. Every moment I looked away. Every time I lied. I thought I could outrun it. Her shoulders shook. But I can't breathe. I can't sleep. I see your face everywhere, still. I stayed quiet. I lost the only person who ever loved me without asking for anything in return. I closed my eyes for a moment, took a breath. I dreamed of this moment, I said quietly. You? Realizing. Apologizing. Her eyes lit up with sudden hope. I thought I'd cry, or scream, or fall apart. She took a step forward. But now that you're here, I opened my eyes. I just feel nothing. She blinked, stunned. Nothing. I buried everything, I said. You made sure of that. I didn't mean to, I know. I cut in. You meant to have more. Just not with me. Tears slipped down her cheeks. I thought if I showed up, if I just told you, maybe. She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. I forgave you a long time ago. Emily, I said. Her breath caught. You did. But that doesn't mean I want you back. Silence filled the room. You don't? I shook my head slowly. You were my forever, I said. Until you became his. She stepped back like my words hit her physically. I'll go, she said softly. I walked to the door and opened it. She looked up at me one last time. I still love you, she said. I nodded once and closed the door. Not a slam, just a soft, steady click. Just speak from the heart, Mr. Benson said, patting my back. Easy for you to say, I muttered. Staring out at the packed auditorium. Sarah grinned from the front row. Breathe, Liam. You've already survived worse. I adjusted the mic. My palms were damp, but my voice came steady. 3 years ago, I thought I had it all figured out. Love, career, future locked in. A few chuckles. I was wrong. I glanced down at my notes, then pushed them aside. I won't give you a checklist today. No step-by-step guide. I'm here to tell you what it feels like to lose everything and still stand. The room went still. I was engaged, working a job I thought I loved, building a life I thought was mine. Then I woke up one day, and none of it was real. Not the girl, not the future, not even the version of myself I had built around them. A student raised their hand. How did you move on? Pain, I said, in time. In choosing to stop waiting for closure from people who never meant to give it. Another voice. Was it betrayal? Yeah, I said, big loud. Heartbreaking betrayal. The kind that leaves you walking through rain without feeling the cold. Zara's eyes didn't leave mine. How long did it take to forgive them? Someone else asked. A while, I said honestly. But I had to, not for them, for me. You carry hate too long, and it becomes your only language. Mr. Benson leaned back, arms crossed. Nodding. What changed you? Another student asked. I smiled. One day I stopped asking why she left and started asking why I stayed. Applause filled the hall when I stepped down. Mer. Benson clasped my shoulder. You killed it. Thanks for giving me the stage. You built it yourself, Liam. Zara pulled me into a hug. You didn't even need your notes. I kind of blacked out. She laughed. Good, that means it was honest. We walked out together, the night air crisp against my skin. Drinks to celebrate? She asked. Rain check. I want to walk. Alone. Yeah. She didn't argue, just smiled. Text me when you're home. I will. I walked out. No umbrella. No hoodie. Just me in the streets. It wasn't raining tonight. But I remembered when it had. I remembered standing frozen, soaked, watching her kiss someone else. I remembered the silence that came after, the shaking, the shattering, and now, it didn't hurt anymore. I passed the corner, where she used to wait for me after work. The bookstore we get lost in, the bench where she first sat always. None of it broke me now, because none of it held me anymore. My phone buzzed. Zara, you're not allowed to disappear again. Just FYI, I typed back. Me? Not going anywhere. I'm right where I belong. I looked up at the sky, clear, quiet, endless, and I said it to myself out loud. She was my forever. Until I realized forever doesn't beg to be chosen.